Here's what most boards and C-suites are still underestimating. AI is not a tech play, it's a workforce revolution, and it's already underway. Accenture CEO just laid out how the most powerful companies in the world are already thinking about AI. Let me tell you, it's not about scaling models, it's actually about scaling people, changing how work gets done, and making the hard choices whenever it comes to talent. I have over 20 years of HR and leadership experience, and her words actually hit home. So let's break down what she said and what it means for CHROs, CEOs, and anyone in the C-suite shaping the future of work. Hi, I am Trent Cotton, the human capitalist, and with 20 plus years in HR, I've worked for and consulted enterprise level executive teams on high impact talent and people strategies. This channel is for anyone rethinking the future of work. If you're clinging to old school HR, this is probably not the channel for you. But if you're an exec, a disruptor, or a bold HR pro that's ready for the challenge, you're in the right place. Let's dig in. Now, I am a nerd and I am absolutely obsessed with the impacts that AI is having on organizations and its people. Whenever I saw this interview of the Accenture CEO, there were so many things that just really jumped out at me. What I want to do is take a couple of the clips, break them down, and give you some strategy ideas. So let's start with the first one.
The number one topic, I've been with 5 CEOs in the last 5 days. The number one topic is, how do I scale AI? How do I make sure it's embedded in how we operate every day? And that is because there's a huge difference between how we're all using AI every day in our individual lives. That's easy. But AI and how you operate an enterprise is hard.
All right, in the first clip, she actually says that the number one topic from CEOs that she's met is how do I scale AI and embed it in how we operate every day? All right, that line matters because it tells us the focus has moved. AI is no longer a shiny toy for the innovation teams. It's actually becoming embedded in the core business functions. What this means is the question for organizations is no longer should we train our people on AI, it's how do we change how work gets done in every role so AI can do what it is actually meant to do. All right, this next clip is subtle but powerful. She says there's a big difference between using AI personally and using it to run an enterprise.
And that is because there's a huge difference between how we're all using AI every day in our individual lives. That's easy. But AI and how you operate an enterprise is hard, which is, of course, why our clients call us, because we're seeing that ROI, whether we're working with an industrial player in tire manufacturers that now identifies defects in minutes instead of days, or a consumer goods company where we've saved $20 million in the first year using advanced AI to help excess inventory. The difference between the MIT report and what we're seeing and helping our clients do is they're getting the ROI.
Now, everyone's experimented with ChatGPT and similar models, and I would dare say that many have not even tapped into the true power of those tools at this point. But enterprise AI, it's not about prompts. It's about changing processes, governance, accountability, and actual job design. And this is where most organizations stall because it's really about organizational readiness. And here's what this means for CHROs and the C-suite. If your workflows, incentives, and culture haven't evolved, AI won't stick. In my experience, the best people, projects, and plans, they always trip at the finish line. We focus so much on the processes that we forget about the people. And with the topic of AI, we're talking about education and adoption. Don't forget, it's about adoption. You can have all of the best AI tools and all the best AI ideas in the world, but if your people aren't using them, your organization will not recognize the true ROI of AI. So in the next clip, this one really should be on the radar of every single executive. She says 75% of leaders say that AI is moving faster than they can prepare their workforce.
The 75% of C-suite leaders surveyed saying the pace of AI change is moving faster than actually they can currently prepare their workforce for. I'm going to ask a sensitive one because I'm showing here the Wall Street Journal, a write-up that happened earlier this week, talking about, and it's pretty damning actually, about consultants, and saying that basically at the moment, this is such new technology that you can't buy the experience you need, quoting consultants who often had no more expertise on AI than they did internally struggled to deploy use cases that created real business value. Can you respond to that, Julie? Because you must have seen that story and been rankled by it.
Sure. Look, when you think about the new ways of technology and why Accenture has been successful for the last decades is because we have the ability to reinvent, train people. So we went from 30 people trained in Gen AI in November 2022 to over 500,000 trained today. Companies can't do that. By definition, every new wave of technology has a time for where you've got to train and retool. And Accenture's core competency is being able to do that at scale to help all of our clients. Our clients can't possibly build all of that expertise that they need without an Accenture to be able to help them scale. And so it's absolutely core. And think about the way that we've been training, right? We have gone from 40,000 to 80,000 data and AI professionals in the last 3 years. That's enormous, right? We've trained over 500,000 people. And starting just this month, we're now training all of our over 700,000 people in the basics of agentic AI. Our clients come to us to say, we need your help to do this and help us with our talent, which is why we launched our LearnVantage business.
And this is the bottleneck that I see all the time. The gap isn't tech, it's in the talent. And it's the CHRO's job with the support of the C-suite to solve it. That means building rapid reskilling pipelines, job transition strategies, and new talent models. When I talk to C-suite executives, they tell me, hey, we're stuck. Many have no idea or any direction of what the org of the future will look like for their organization, and that's a huge problem. This is not a learning and development strategy to stay hip and cool. It's now come to a point of survival. This next clip to me was probably one of the most honest moments in the entire clip. You have to upskill, you have to rotate. Some people won't make the journey.
When you think about the workforce, think about it in 3 things that you have to do. You have to upskill the people that you have, right? Give them the skills. That's why everybody's being trained in agentic AI in the same way everyone was trained with Gen AI. You have to do a talent rotation. There are some people that won't make the journey, right? You have a mismatch in skills and you're not able to train, everyone. And then you also will have efficiencies. So if you keep that framework in upskilling, talent rotation, and efficiencies, that really kind of answers the workforce strategy that not only Accenture has, but all companies need to have.
All right, let's talk about workforce transformation. Every company is going through an AI shift, and they need to accept this truth. Some employees will learn and grow, some will shift roles, and some will simply disappear. So here's what some of the best CHROs are doing. They're upskilling pathways. Every function gets a clear learning journey, and it is iterative. There is no way that you're going to be able to keep the pace with AI transformation if your pathways are set in stone. Next is talent audits and rotations. Identify those who can shift laterally. And this is a great way not to only upskill your workforce, but also retain it. I really feel like we're about to see a mad dash to retain talent, especially as the heat in the market increases with everything AI. I never understand why an organization wants to go and spend money and time getting new talent in the door when you probably have some of the best talent already working for you. They just need exposure, and that's where the rotations come in. All right, next is a big one. Workforce transparency. Share the reality early to avoid fear-driven resistance. You cannot keep this quiet. You have to lead through it. You have to bring the plans that you have for the org of the future, assuming that you have them, out of the boardroom and into the break room. We've got to start having these hard conversations, and we need to start having them now. Okay, the last clip kind of ties everything together. She says, enterprise AI is about rewiring how you do work.
The reason enterprise AI is hard is because it's not what you experience every day, putting in a question, summarizing your emails, creating new PowerPoints. It's about actually rewiring the way that you do work, your processes, and understanding where you get value.
All right, not augment, not accelerate, rewire. And I love that because what it means is you're breaking the workflows and rebuilding them with AI at the center. You're redesigning jobs around machine and human collaboration, and you're shifting performance metrics to measure what actually matters. This is transformation. It's not automation. So here's how I would guide any C-suite right now, especially CEOs and CHROs. First, it's a workforce mandate. Define what AI means for each department's operating model. Next, develop your talent strategy. Build the pathways for upskilling, rotating, and when necessary, letting go. You also need to outline your culture shift. Normalize AI as part of the workflow, not an external tool. And then control the narrative. Communicate the changes clearly because fear thrives in silence. And don't forget governance. Put oversight in place to track performance, equity, and safety. Inspect what you expect, especially whenever it comes to AI. The companies that lead through this will be the ones who treat AI as a business transformation and understand the importance that people play in this transformation. It's not just a tech experiment. If you'd like to see the entire video that I've been clipping, I'll paste the link in the description. It is definitely worth the watch. And honestly, I'm thankful that the CEO of Accenture is a prominent voice around such an important topic. Now, if you're a CHRO or executive dealing with all this, drop a comment below. What's the hardest part of this shift for you and for your teams? Let's make sure that people are ready for what's next. Well, that's all I have for this episode. I am Trent Cotton, your human capitalist. Remember, invest in yourself because no one's going to do it like you do.